So I didn't have a shirt to wear, but I had my first Live Original shirt printed for this ministry idea I wanted to start. So I show up to school, everybody's wearing, LSU, A&M, all this stuff, and I have on Live Original. And someone says, "What's that?" And I go, "Oh, it's kind of what I'm hoping to do after high school." And she goes, "That's embarrassing." So there's just a lot of stuff like that ended up adding up and really hurting. I would literally have whole student sections from the other school show up to my basketball games with duck calls and blow every single time I shot the ball, which again, sounds funny, but when you're in high school, it is humiliating. So I would cry off the court, and so what I loved was not even fun anymore. It was an extremely lonely season, which is super ironic because that was the time that everyone probably knew me the most, but I was probably the most lonely that I've ever been. I began to think at this point, I got to do something different. This is not working. I don't even want to go to school here. I don't want to live here. I just need a fresh start. So I started thinking about what are other things I'm passionate about. Obviously, sports is not working. Obviously, this is not working. So I started to think, well, I love entertaining people. Since I was little, I liked doing vlogs, and I would act like I had my own show. I love imitating people. So I thought, well, maybe all of this was for God to lead me into pursuing maybe acting or something in Hollywood. So I thought about moving to Hollywood. It was after Dance with the Stars. I already had an opportunity there, so I thought I'll go there. And honestly, doors started flying open. It was crazy. I wouldn't even audition for stuff, and casting directors would be like, "We want you to do this part." But I would read the script, and as exciting as it was so outside of my morals and so outside of what I felt, well, really what God's word is, not even what I felt, but what God's word is, that I felt like I couldn't do it. But for a time, I tried to justify it in my mind, like, well, it's not really me doing it, it's just acting, and then I can tell people later that that's not really what I agree with, just trying to find a reason that I could say yes to it. But at the end of the day, my convictions were stronger than my reasoning, and I said, okay, I'm not going to do it. And my agent said, if you turn stuff like this down, then no one's going to take you seriously. And they found it really hard to work with me because they'd give me these huge opportunities, and then I'd say, I can't do it because of my morals. And so once again, here I am feeling like the girl that everyone said I was at 13, like a lawnmower in a garage who was just boring. And honestly, at this point, I had no idea what to do. At this point, I'm about 18 years old and literally have no idea what I'm going to do. And honestly, I was really mad at God. This was the only time in my life that I can remember genuinely being that mad at God. I'd always heard that from people, and people would say I'm mad at God. But from the time I was little, I genuinely did love the Lord. But at this point, I was just mad. I was like, my future is wiped. Everything I thought I knew is gone. No more sports, no more acting, no more boyfriend. After 3 years, we broke up. No clue as to who I am. God, what in the world? Where are you, God? Do you really care about the desires of my heart, God? Are you really a man of your word? I remember telling God one day in an honest prayer that he chose the wrong person. I said, I don't want any of this. I don't want to be famous. You chose the wrong person. I don't know how to do this. I wanted to play sports. That's what I knew. I wanted to have friends. That's what I love. I wanted to go to college. Who am I without any of those things? What do you have for me? Do you even care? I felt like I was getting nothing in return. Some of you might feel this way. Some of you might be here asking some of those hard questions like I do. Some of you might have had plans one way and it's rerouting you a different way, and you're like, God, do you even care how much time I put into that?